Welcome to part 2 of Why the Last Guest Isn't Sad. Like part 1, I will be explaining the second part of The Last Guest and why I didn't shed a tear. The reception so far on my video is pretty decent, getting more views than usual, and the comments are just what reactions I want to get out of all of you. If you're new here and haven't watched part 1, I would highly recommend you watch it. Anyways, let's get started with part 2 on why the last guest isn't sad. Part 2 starts off with going back in time 11 years prior to guests blowing up my username's this, and we appear to be in a place called Bacon Camp. I don't get why the bacon hairs call everything they have bacon this and bacon that. Imagine having to fight the Bacon Empire. So, in this bacon camp, there appears to be a family of bacon hairs living here with a bacon boy named Jazz with a weird voice and a mom who can turn her head a 180. So anyways, it's shown through Jazz's drawing that he's actually the son of my username's this, who just happens to be mad at Jazz because he drew something on a piece of paper, so he knocks it down. So my username's this wants his son to be the best fighter, but the mom doesn't appear to care the way the dad treats Jazz. And after Jazz's mom gives Jazz a slightly motivating, advice saying Jazz is on the grind. Also, why does Jazz still have a big scar from when his dad knocked him down? I don't think the knock was that hard. We are also introduced to Jazz's friend, Sarah, spelled with a Z. So then there's a montage of them finding a dog and then taking it home. But then, when Jazz returns home to tell his mom what he found, his mom has been stabbed to death. It turns out Jazz was just having a flashback of sorts, and we cut around to around the present day. And in my opinion, I think it was kind of one of the only very slightly depictions of trauma. So anyways, Sarah and Jazz are at Bacon School, and the teacher's giving them a propaganda lesson on why guests are bad. So basically, for whatever reason, guests were mean to the bacon hairs, but it's actually the other way around. Or maybe they're referring to the bacon hair. The general comes in to announce that everyone is of age to become a bacon soldier. I'm tired of saying bacon. To prove their strength, all the boy bacon hairs have to fight, and the winner gets to watch the guest games. I sure wonder what the guest games are. So after a montage, Jazz is proven to be the strongest bacon. Whoa, a character that actually works to get his strength. Impossible. Anyways, after some random scene of username and a buff bacon guy on a computer, we got to Jazz following Zara to his restricted area. Eventually, Jazz finds a camp of guests being forced to do work and working to the point of collapsing. So this must be where all the guests are going, even though it must have been stated in part 1 that the bacon hairs often just kill the guests. A specific ethnicity of people being taken away from home and taken to a place where they're forced to work to the death or immediately executed reminds me of a specific devastating event during World War II. I wonder which one. Except it's in Roblox, but with guests. I'm not very impressed with how these really heavy themes are dealt with in the movie. The movie relies on tragic events happening to people to make me sad. Instead of giving me a reason to sympathize with all the characters, but instead, the characters just, I don't know, they're just kind of like very two-dimensional. Anyways, Jez isn't too happy about Zara helping the guests and is going to tell on her. However, when Jez reaches his father's office, he notices an open drawer with a knife that he immediately assumes is the same knife that his mother was stabbed with. What if it was a different knife? Nah, it's conveniently the same knife, so Jez can become a good guy. But now, it's time for the guest games. Also, why does the architecture of the buildings tend to vary from a modern-looking high school to a kind of ancient-looking coliseum? Anyways, the guest games are basically what the Romans did, making prisoners fight for entertainment, but it's guests instead. The first fighters come on the arena, but username is awfully impatient and has them executed. So the guests fight, some die, some don't, and the guest 11 their hair guest wins. After the event and some boring talking, we're introduced to guest 555, or Rose, who just becomes Jez and Sarah's best friend, and they spend their time reading guest 666. Ooh. But one day, Rose is chosen for the guest games. Fortunately, Zara has a plan to get her out. And what's that plan? I know, just make the hole that's in the fence bigger. Oh wait, that's not the plan. Zara's just going to be a distraction while Jez breaks the fence open. Wait, that isn't the plan either. The plan is for Sarah to distract the guards, and then Jez beats them up. So anyways, Sarah and Jez try to get in through the front entrance, but instead are just caught by the buff bacon guy. So then the buff bacon guy orders them to go to username's office, and then he's just like, "Haha, just kidding, I don't like traitors." And then he shoots Sarah, and it's supposed to be like super dramatic. But then we have this random music playing, and then Jez is making that stupid crying face. I swear I'm tired of seeing that face Jez makes, or like some other characters make. Jez looks like he's struggling to take a dump. Because of Jez and Sarah's stupid planning, Jez is sent to the camp, and now Sarah is dead. And then after some random illusions sing about his mom and Sarah talking to him in his old bedroom, Jez just like, I'm never gonna give up. But I'm gonna just, I don't know, I'm totally not gonna doubt myself. I don't know. I also want to point out that Rose's hair is just a hair model, but with the female guest hair texture slacked on. Anyways, now username wants to scold Jez now. Oh wait, the subject of Jez's mom's murder is changed to going to war. Well, I don't know, why would you still want your son to go to war with you, since he pretty much betrayed you? Oh well. On the way out to the battlefield, Jez confronts the buff bacon guy, but then buff bacon guy says username killed Jez's mom, and I guess Jez just believes him. And after yet another inspiring flashback of Zara telling Jez to never give up, Jez sees the last guest. What? He didn't die? That's so shocking. So those events are pretty much what led up to the present day, with username blowing up. Meanwhile, at the not bacon hair camp, we're introduced to yet another character, who is this brown hair girl who accompanies the captain to find Matt. You know, Oblivious's self-insert that I totally did not forget about. On the way back to camp, a random bacon soldier just kills the captain, even though there's not really a reason to. He lost the battle. Wait, what? It's a ninja bacon soldier, and he wears armor from a different time period to show how badass he is? No way! Oh wait, he kind of sucks. He runs really slow since Brown Hair Girl got away. Back at the front, Jess takes guests back to Bacon Camp and takes guests to Zara's dad. And if you still weren't convinced guests survived the explosion, Zara's dad says he's alive. It's so intense and emotional, even though you don't really root for him. So that concludes part 2 of why the last guest isn't sad. This one wasn't really as interesting as the first one, but hopefully part 3 will be better. Okay, bye!